Well, I never thought I would even try to review part two of Legion of Superheroes Millennium after the first one, but I really hope that you guys watched my first video on part one of this. It was one of the few negative reviews that I did on a comic. And yeah, I'm pulling this up online because I have bought it. I had to pre order it, I haven't received it yet. But I got a message from somebody that said that I really need to go ahead and check it out because they watched my first video and they said you're going to see something that had them laughing, right? So basically, in the first video for part one of Legion of Superheroes Millennium, I did a little rant there in part of the video where I was sitting there saying it was like Bendis talking about the pacing of the story, the fact that it was just so one thing after the other. There's no pacing, no breathing, no characterization or anything. Just rows popping up in different areas of time, running up to characters. That was like Bendis grabbed an artist and said, first we're going to have her meet Supergirl as president, and then she's going to meet he's Commandy, and then we're going to have a cliffhanger, and I was saying, and then it was like Bendis was just spewing this stuff out and saying, and then. So I was kind of wondering what the message was referring to. So here's the cover of the first issue. And if you look real close there, I think you're going to be able to see quite a few characters you recognize. Like there's Storm with her mohawk going on. Beside her is Sunfire. Behind them would be Iceman. If you look around there, there's a there's a Micronaut from the 70s. Somebody looks like Cyclops' daughter. You know, Brainiac. You can recognize Brainiac if you will. A little mystique in there if you look really close. But scrolling on up there, but a few years ago, I would have laughed about this because right here on page one, the opening line here for the story is "and then." And a few years ago, I would have just laughed at this, like nailed it, just kind of laughed it off about it being a big coincidence about my rant of Bendis saying "and then," and in my head of saying "and then," talking to the artist. But after the last 5 years of seeing how a lot of comic pros act real petty on Twitter, and we can name names, we know who we're talking about and stuff. It kind of cracks me up that even though they probably had this done a few months ago and stuff, I can't help but wonder if this is their response of trolling me for my review. Because over the years, whether your channel is small or not, comic pros have seen our channels going way back when. Gail Simone watched us on I think I was part of that one. Maybe not, but the original comics, what was it? Comic Book Roundtable. I've had Michael Avon Oming see one of my reviews on The Powers, the book, another Bendis book. I've had the Philip Wiley Foundation comment on my video where I was talking about from Gladiator to Superman and things like that. I mean, they popped up on here and stuff, right? So, it just kind of cracks me up. I'm not going to go through the whole story here because I could not finish this. This was just, again, it's this series. The fact that it was either Newsarama or CBR reviewed issue number one and gave it a 9 out of 10 blew my mind. I can't remember if I said it in the last video or if I said it in one of my mini live streams. A book that deserves a 9 out of 10 would be your Watchmen, your Mouse, your Dark Knight Returns, things like that. Not Millennium, where it's just things. Anyway, here we have them meeting Booster Gold, if you know your history. And then we have OMAC pop up. I'm a big OMAC fan. Now, this series, I feel really bad for the artists, man, because it's like they're pouring their heart out on these pages. They're really trying to sell it. I mean, this is a gorgeous OMAC and stuff, right? But there's a big flaw in it. With 14 or 15 years of Bendis writing superheroes that I first caught up with the Avengers, uh, you know, way back in the day. He does not know comic book history because he's already had Commandy show up And if he's doing this chronologically, he has Omax showing up after Commandy. And what gets me is how these characters react to Rose. He has Rose being such a center of the story. Nobody's really asking who she is. Nobody is really surprised that she's there. They're opening right up to her, no suspicion or anything like that. Um, just horrible stuff. She's making observations here about hinting about DC's future because Millennium was supposed to be. It was advertised as like how all the DC futures connect. We get to see them all, but just and then she goes off into space, and we get a little bit of I don't know, some narration here over some art and things like that. I couldn't make it through this. This was totally horrible. But like I said, the artist, I feel so bad for the artist. Ron Sook has put in so much work on. I really wish some other writer would come in and piece this art together in different ways and just rewrite it all because, like I said, the artists have done it. But poor Ryan Sook here. Oh my gosh, oh man, he's really poured his heart into this. I feel like with these great designs, but this is not the Legion of Superheroes. Um, nor do I think, nor do I think that they're any threat to the past versions of the Legion of Superheroes. I think the only people that are going to be hyping this are the people at Bleeding Cool, Newsrama, CBR, who all want to break into comics. So they're going to say how great this is. There's no characterization. And it's so funny. Dan Didio got mad a few months ago, reportedly, by asking a crowd at a comic book convention how many people had ordered these facsimile editions of past great DC books, like the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul and things like that. And he was trying to say that they were trying to move forward with what they were doing in comics. Yet Bendis has already come out and said that they get to look at the entire history of the Legion of Superheroes and pick those high moments and rework them into here and stuff, right? So how can you be moving forward when you're not bringing anything new? You're just rehashing heroes, and you've already said you're going to rehash their great stories from the past. Um, it's not really moving forward. Moving forward would be introducing new characters. Like this could have been a whole. I'm going to say it again. These character designs by Ryan Sook could be an entirely different team if he didn't have to do callbacks to the Legion and stuff, right? I mean, look in the upper left corner, man. I don't know if that's Wildfire or not, but my gosh, that's a great design with the floating neon skull in the armor there. That's such a great design. I love that. What I assume is Starman there towards the middle, right above what's Ultra Boy there. I mean, he looks like a Micronaut from 1979, a toy line. That he looks like, I think it was Time Traveler was in the character's name. I don't know, but I mean, this could just have been a whole new team and a whole new way for DC to give us some fresh meat, some young blood in there, and move forward with it. Oh, this has been good. My problem with the Lightning Lad, my problem with the Lightning Lad is that basically we already have a Black Lightning. I just don't get it and stuff, right? I love the triplicate girls there. I love her retro 50s style. It's really cool. Like I said, there's some great designs here, but this isn't the Legion, and I really don't see this taking off. I can see a little excitement over. I can see people popping in there with the hype that's going on with it, but I think our original Legion is in no danger here. All right, guys, just wanted to show you that, but I got a big kick out of and then. so, so did they watch the video and add this later, or did I just nail it how he was telling the story last month? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. All right, guys, later.